I told you earlier that today's guest was a returning guest with multiple CWK appearances and that he was one of my favorites. Well, all that's true, but I've kind of misled you a tad bit. Today's chef is none other than me. That's right, I'm going to warm up the skillet and show you a few twists on some good old classic breakfast dishes. So I think I'm going to get started right away. We're going to do first what I like to call Redneck Eggs Benedict. It's got a lot of the same ingredients that a regular Eggs Benedict would have, but we're going to switch a few things up. We're going to start by frying up a little bit of country ham, and that's where a little bit of this redneck comes from. I'm from Southwest Virginia, and we like country ham with just about everything. Now, I had previously rendered just a little bit of ham fat in here because I got at our grocery store, our Kroger's, I got these already sliced, pre-cut, right ready for the biscuit-sized pieces of country ham. They're a little lean on fat, so I bought a little extra fat and put it in the pan and rendered that down just a little bit because it's only going to take just a very short amount of time for us to brown off this ham to where we want it to be. Once we get the ham brown, you know, that's going to take about, you see, it's almost done already. It's only going to take about 45 seconds on each side. So we're going to flip that over. Now, once we got that ham to where we want it, we're going to take it right out over here and put it on a little piece of paper towel and drain it. Now comes one of the most important parts of this dish. We're going to make a little red-eye gravy. Now, red-eye gravy, you know, times were lean when they started making red-eye gravy because they had no flour, they had nothing else to be able to put in to make a gravy to go with their breakfast. So they just started you take your ham grease, we're going to put a little bit of water in there, a couple tablespoons of water, and then a couple tablespoons of black coffee. And that's about as southern as it gets as far as red-eye gravy is concerned. Now that's important because we're going to turn that off a little bit. I'm just going to move this up. We're going to use some of this red-eye gravy in the hollandaise sauce that we're getting ready to make. I'm going to show you a way to make hollandaise that is simple, quick, and just as easy as it can be. We're going to do it in a food processor. You could do it in a blender just as easily. We're going to start with 3 egg yolks. We're just going to put them right into the food processor straight away. We're going to put just a dash, about 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper in. Just probably a teaspoonful of lemon juice. We would use a tablespoonful regularly, but we're going to augment this with a little bit of this red-eye gravy. Okay, we got that in there. Now, we want to go ahead and mix that just a little bit by itself. So now what we're going to do to make this hollandaise sauce is we've got the egg yolks and everything in there. This is clarified butter. Clarified butter is nothing more than butter that you melt, refrigerate, and then if you poke a little hole down to the bottom of it, you can pour out all the water and you get nothing but the pure butter fat that's left. So we're going to turn on our blender and we're just going to start adding the butter. Now we're going to use about 1/2 cup of butter, and you want to add this slowly because what we're making is an emulsion here and we want to give it time to blend in. Now, this little food processor here I found right on the shelf in one of our kitchen places at a Kroger store. So you can get just about everything you need for this dish right in a Kroger store, including the food processor. Okay, now you can tell when you're done, you just want it to have a slight little tip on it and peak to it when it comes off on a spoon. And that's just about perfect. Now the next step we're going to is very simply, we're going to fry an egg instead of poaching it. So we're going to start here. This little pan comes right off the shelf at a Kroger store. And for doing 1 egg at a time, fried egg at a time, it's about as good a pan as I have ever found for doing 1 egg at a time. You can get the egg perfectly the way you want it. Not too runny, not too stiff. It's just a great little pan for doing 1 egg in. Now we're just going to take an egg, break it right in there. I had previously put some of our country ham grease in there to give it a little bit of something to slide on. But this will take, you know, probably about 3 minutes to cook this egg. And we're going to give it that time to do so because without a well done egg or a properly done egg, we might not get the result that we want. There we go, looking good. Now, if you can see that, I don't know, you see that one little pan, I can twirl that egg around. Now for a Eggs Benedict, we want our egg to be probably done to the medium state. We want it to still be a little bit runny on the inside, but we want just a little bit of that orange tint to come down through the middle and harden up on us. Now you can see, I just flip that egg just like that, and you can try that at home. It's not a dangerous thing to do. So while that's finishing cooking, I'm gonna go over here and start out. We've got our plate, just a regular toasted English muffin. You could use a biscuit for this, but I like the English muffin. So we're gonna come here and we're gonna start out by we're gonna put all 4 slices of this ham on here because I like ham. And I don't think there's anybody else here that's gonna eat this besides me. Now, our egg is done. See, that didn't take very long at all. We've got the perfect doneness on our egg here. And now, we're just gonna take our hollandaise sauce, just like we would with a regular Eggs Benedict. But I'm thinking that looks good. And there's your Redneck Eggs Benedict. Now, so much for the ham and eggs portion of our show. Next, a dish that will blow your diet, it will blow your waistband, it will blow your cholesterol levels, but most of all, it will blow your mind. Don't go away.